What's going on, folks? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to another video. And we've been discussing what's going on with Social Security, fixed income recipients getting basically the ringer. And my wife and I got the ringer earlier as we went to not Costco. We didn't go to Costco. We went to Publix this time. And we literally paid 3 times more than what the Dollar Tree was charging. Let me show you guys something real quick. I don't know if you guys are familiar with these. So you got Snyder's of Hanover, braided twists, honey wheat. I don't know if you guys ever had these pretzels. Really good pretzels. You know, decent snack, whatnot, right? Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on these ingredients here. But, you know, you do what you can. I know you guys see that. But check this out. Notice this, 10 ounces, right? Same brand, same company. Here's another one. 12 ounces, okay? Nearly an identical bag. They're both Snyder's of Hanover, braided twists, honey wheat, yada, 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 okay? Get this. This one costs $1, okay? We got this from the Dollar Tree, and we got this after going to Publix to purchase this one. Okay. Now I want you guys to just guess in the comments how much you think this bag costs. Now I'm gonna give you like 5 seconds, pause the video, and just type in the comments how much you think that this bag was. Now remember, there's only a 2-ounce difference, and if you set them side by side, they look the same. And you know how these bags are. It's probably a lot of air in there, but long and short of it, it's almost an identical bag. Comment down below how much you think this bag costs from Publix. Okay. Now guys, the one from Publix was like almost $3.50 for like the same bag. And that is not the only thing we found. There were other items that we found in Publix as well as other stores. And I'm not just trying to go off on Publix like they're the only ones that are charging much more for similar items that can be purchased at other stores for less money. But the simple fact of the matter is some of these stores are taking advantage of people. And I'm not saying that Publix is taking advantage of people. I think Publix offers very high quality foods, very fresh produce, fruits, vegetables, meats, and their staff is very nice. The store is always very well lit. So I'm not coming after Publix, but some stores are certainly taking advantage of folks. Now, here's another thing that folks are getting taken advantage of. Have you guys seen the price of rent lately? Now, I want to share something with you guys. I want you guys to be paying very close attention, especially in this housing market, especially in the real estate market. And so some people are basically pissed off at this whole housing market, the real estate market, and people are calling out these house flippers who actually took a $260,000 house in New York. It's a New York home. They got it for like $260,000, and they're now selling it for guess how much? Just comment down below how much you guys think is this house is going for. By the way, if you guys made it this far in the video, drop a quick like for the video. Also consider subscribing to the channel. But these people, they got this house for $260,000 in New York, and they're now selling it for $1.2 million. That's like 400% increase, right? And this is just kind of wild. And people are literally going crazy. I don't know if you guys can see this. This house here, can you see that? 2020, $260,000. But 3 years later, drastic increase in the value or the cost of this house, right? People are going wild on social media over this. Now, question is, do you get mad at the sellers or do you get mad at the market? Because if the market will support $1.2 million, they're just offering what the market value is of the house. Now, they did make some improvements to the property, but do you really get upset at the sellers? I mean, it is their house. I mean, we could just simply not buy their house. But a New York home that originally sold for $260,000, it was renovated and it was relisted at $1.2 million. And it's generated a lot of discussion here. Now, I don't know how many HGTV watchers we have on the channel here, but essentially any one of us could have done this. Any one of us in 2020 could have bought a house at a great price, because at the beginning, first and second quarter of 2020, everyone was afraid of real estate. Everyone was running away from real estate, and that was one of the best times in the last 10 years to purchase real estate. You could have gotten a steal. Interest rates were incredibly low. You could have gotten a, in this case, $260,000 property in 2020, and your return on investment would have been, 400%, and you would have likely had, if you had good credit, if your Experian, Equifax, TransUnion average score was, over 740 points, chances are you would have gotten an interest rate on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage of probably about less than 3%. So the banks would basically be paying you to take out a mortgage. Why? Because today you can go to places like JP Morgan Chase, and you can open up a money market account, and they are paying like 4% on their money market accounts. So instead of, paying cash for a property, instead of paying $260,000 in cash for a piece of real estate, single family residence that you plan on flipping, you could literally put your $260,000 into a money market account. And it doesn't have to be JP Morgan Chase. It could be at Vanguard or E-Trade or, any investment broker that is paying 4% in an FDIC insured account. Have your money grow at a rate of 4%. Meanwhile, you're paying a 30-year fixed rate mortgage of 2.8%, which you could have gotten in 2020. And then if you did like these people, relist this $260,000 property for $1.2 million. Now, comparing the cost of the property to the asking price of the property, that's $1 million. That's $1 million spread in the course of 3 years. That's like making $350,000 a year roundabout. Now, somebody uploaded a video recently of this single family residence in the city of Beacon, New York, and it sold for $260,000 in June. And this is an 83-year-old residence, and it initially had 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. All right. Now, how many of you guys would have been interested in buying this house for $260,000, 2 bedroom, 2 bath? Is that a good deal to you? Now, keep in mind, this is New York. Now, if you happen to live in Florida, Alabama, South Carolina, Mississippi, or, Texas, that is probably not that great of a deal, because real estate prices are just much more expensive in New York. But hey, $260 to get a single family residence in New York, evidently it was a good deal, because it's going for $1.2 million now. Now this goes out to all the different this goes out to all the aspiring real estate investors, all of the aspiring people who are after the American dream. You never know when the next deal is going to show up, right? And you got to be aware of what's happening out here, folks. And I know a lot of folks on fixed income like Social Security, fixed income like SSI, SSDI. These are the individuals who have been hit the hardest, because a lot of these folks are sitting in apartments and rental properties where the rents are constantly going up. But, even with the COLA increase for Social Security in 2023 having increased at the greatest percentage that it has in the last 40 years, it still wasn't enough to keep up with inflation. I mean, I already showed you, the price difference in some of the items that we have purchased earlier. And these are just pretzels. These are non-essentials. But that's a price difference between 2 different stores. Let's not forget about the price difference between 2020 and 2023. Everything in all stores, Kroger, Costco, Walmart, Publix, Aldi, they're all more expensive today than they once were. All right. And all of the prices of the goods that we're purchasing today have increased. In my opinion, I know the CPI number that the Fed is talking about, it was as much as almost 9% at one point. But let's be honest with you guys. Let's be honest, guys. There are plenty of items that we buy on a regular basis that have increased way more than the advertised 9% CPI. And I know that the CPI number, the CPI inflation number has gone down a little bit since then, but let's be real, guys. Truth of the matter is inflation in a lot of cases was, 20, 30, 40, 50% in some categories. I mean, look at real estate. Real estate was way more than 8%, right? And where you live, your cost of living, where you live is a significant category in terms of how much you're spending for your cost of living. So if your rent went up by like 20 or 30%, who cares if CPI was 9%? Your rent went up 30. Look at real estate prices. Most real estate right now, I would say the average gain or appreciation for real estate in America across all of the different states, all 50 states, is probably around 20 to 40%, depending upon where you live. Now, the home that we're talking about, it was renovated before it was listed on the market. So it wasn't like they just bought it for $260 and then listed it for $1.2 million. So the home was renovated before it was listed on the market in June of this year. But we can't ignore this astronomical price difference. Now, the house is listed on Zillow as a 3-bedroom, 3-bath home. And it's described as a contemporary take on the classic 1940s Cape Cod, commonly known as the Hudson Valley. Now, keep in mind, they bought the house for $260,000. Now, these are clearly some wise real estate investors. They bought this house $260,000. They put some money into it. It was originally a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house. It's now a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house. So what that means is they added a bedroom and they added a bathroom. So they added value and they added more utilization in this house. So in comparison, the house next door to them is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath residence, and it sold for $377,000 in 2020. All right, so they even got a better deal than what their neighbor paid for theirs. So, and Redfin's listing is saying that the median listing price for homes in this particular zip code is $550,000, and the median sale price is $522,000. So, so you might be thinking to yourself, hey, I'm on Social Security, I'm on SSI, SSDI. I'm trying to buy a house. I'm tired of renting. How do I know if I'm getting a good deal on a property? Well, how do you know if you're getting a good deal on a property? One of the things I like to do when I'm looking at real estate is I like to compare the selling price of the property compared to the rent. If I can rent the property for near the mortgage payment value, the mortgage payment amount, then chances are I'm actually probably getting a pretty good deal on the property, or at least roundabout market value. That's what I like to do. That's what I like to look at. Now, if it's an investment property, not a property that I'm going to live in, I want to make sure that I have equity getting into this property right out the gate, and I'm looking to steal the property, like not just break even. I want to be positive cash flow from day one, right out the gate. Now, TikTok users shared this shocking price jump with a lot of different people commenting that their initial estimate was way off, right? And this video ended up making its way over to Twitter, and it just pretty much went viral, and it got even more people just commenting on this property price, right? One person basically said, "Oh my freaking God!" Right? At first, I said $450,000, and then saw that the price after the flip said $800K, and I was very, very wrong. We need serious home pricing regulations. Now, this person is basically saying, this person's opinion basically suggests that the government, the White House, the federal government, maybe a state government, local government ordinance needs to put caps on how much money people can make on real estate investments, or how much money people can sell their properties for. And me personally, I don't think that the government needs to step in. I think the government has their hands in, I think the government has their hands and enough control over the American people as it is. Number one. But I want to say it was the Netherlands that is putting caps on how much you can sell your home for over there. So let me ask you this. You buy a house, $200,000. I don't know what state you live in. Maybe you live in Maryland. Maybe you live in Florida or Alabama or California, whatever the case is. You buy a house. You live in it 20 years. You raise your kids in it. And 20 years goes by. And all of a sudden, you don't need this much space. You decide to sell your house. Lo and behold, you get your home appraised, and your real estate agent says, hey, Mary, hey, Fred, hey, John, hey, your property is now worth $700,000. You want to go ahead and list it? We can go ahead and get a photographer in there next week. We can get it listed for you, get it sold, right? So meanwhile, you pay $200,000 for this house. You raise your kids in it. You've been making your mortgage payments on time, and you've paid your mortgage balance down to, it's only $100,000 left on the property. Your property has been appraised and it is now worth $700,000. That means that, you know, with the exception of any type of preparation to get the house ready for sale and aside from the real estate commission, you could literally walk away with roughly $600,000 in equity, cash in your pocket after paying off the existing balance on the loan that you owe, on the mortgage that you owe. Are you telling me that you would be okay with the government telling you, no, you can't sell your house for $700,000. You only pay $200,000. You should be capped at selling your house for no more than $350,000. Is that fair to you? The value of your home is $700,000, but the government's trying to tell you that you need to lower your price because you can't make that much money on your real estate, on the property that you bought and you raised your kids in. Just because, I mean, like, the market is saying that houses like yours are worth $700,000. Why should the government tell you how much you can sell your house for? Some people said HGTV absolutely ruined people's brains. You know, I think HGTV does a great job of showing people what's possible. It gets people excited about real estate, and I like real estate. I get excited about real estate. I think it gives you great ideas. I guess I think the other thing is HGTV also lets you see different parts of the United States. You know, I mean, they're showing people in Maryland, California, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Texas. They're buying properties, North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina. They're buying properties all over the United States. And you get to see what real estate looks like. You get to see what real estate prices look like in different parts of the country. I don't think that it's messing with people's minds. I think that some people just need to pay closer attention to different deals and opportunities that surface. So drop me some comments, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. I think that it's a pretty interesting situation, but it just goes to show how a good purchase today could be a phenomenal investment tomorrow.